Sean Strickland has broken every rule, socially, media-wise, training-wise, personally. Let's break it down. All right. When I meet Sean Strickland, he's 21 years old. He's had 17 fights. He's the king of the cage champion, dreaming of being in the UFC. Now, I go and immediately spar with Sean Strickland, and I spar multiple rounds with Sean Strickland, and he turns into be my #1 training partner where every single day I'm sparring with Sean Strickland. When I would leave, I would talk to my wife on the way back to the house. We're staying in a hotel at the time. I said, I don't know what he's good at. I mean, I don't know what he is. Like, wrestling Sean Strickland was just such an uphill battle. And when I trained with him, I thought he was a wrestler because he was so difficult. Now, I didn't feel his wrestling offense as much as I did his defense. I could feel his hips. I thought he was a wrestler. This is what my belief was. I get done training with Sean Strickland, and I realize, well, you know, he's kind of a jiu-jitsu guy. And he then gets his run in the UFC. He gets 4 and 5 and 6 fights in before I, who have a personal relationship with him, realize he's a kickboxer. I didn't fully understand that he was a kickboxer until he went out and out-kickboxed Israel Adesanya for 25 minutes, and that was deep into his career. There's a world title fight. So again, I ask you, what kind of a fighter is Sean Strickland? Is he a kickboxer? Okay, great. Says who? Says who? I know Adesanya's a kickboxer. He had 29 kickboxing fights. I know Ciryl Gane's a kickboxer. He had 27 professional fights. What makes Sean Strickland a kickboxer? Where did he learn those skills? Was he a boxer first, and then he started the kicking? Like, it's just one of these interesting things. And as a matter of fact, now as I look back, I don't even know of a wrestling match that Sean Strickland had. So I want to just start with this. This is a guy that gets in to the MMA game. Nobody believed him. He doesn't got any money. He can't like go out and hire trainers. He's got to do all of this on his own. He's got to believe in himself. He's got to find a way to put gas in the car, and he happens to make it. Okay, great. Now, he then gets distracted. He gets distracted socially in something known as marriage. Now, I've seen many a good man, and they're not the same once that happens. And not just the marriage, you know, they meet the girl, and they fall in love, and they got a few dollars in their pocket, and people think they're cool. They got a little social media following, and it never works out. He got better. He got better since he met this girl, who, by the way, he married and didn't invite me. I'm still a little bothered about that. At any rate, so, I mean, it's not like I was going to go. It was in Vegas. I wasn't going to fly to Vegas, but they would have got a nice gift. He could have sent me an invite. Anyway, it's, you know, all right. So he then, from a training perspective, instead of being selfish and training himself, which is what an athlete that goes on to be world champion has to do. This isn't Chael's rule. This is the rule. An athlete that is going to be a world champion, that's going to be a main eventer, that's going to make $1 million a night, has got to be selfish. He does the opposite. He starts coaching people. He starts showing up to the gym, putting other people through workouts. He goes from being the young guy in the room that's barely got money to put gas in his car to get to practice to a leader of the gym. And by the way, the people that he's leading love him. I've heard stories from guys that are in the room. Anthony Smith said, Chael, you want to believe what a leader this guy is. You want to believe he can go get his own workout on and see what you're doing, come over, give you advice on a water break, go back and go finish up his own rounds. That's breaking a rule. He then somehow is getting better. He goes to the media where everybody is getting nervous, right? He goes out and in many people's eyes becomes a culture warrior. But he's still engaging and he's still walking this very fine line. He never flinched. He's still got opportunities. He's still got that microphone. And some guys, allow me to just dump to John Jones, but you'll understand this example. One thing that John does that is so impressive that he really doesn't get credit for is John can go both ways. What does that mean? It means he can win when he's the favorite. He can go out and perform. He can perform when he's the underdog. And a lot of guys can't do that. They thrive either as the underdog because it takes the pressure off, or they thrive as the favorite because they need that boost of confidence before they go in there. Angry Sean Strickland is a very different guy. And when they put him as a 3-1 underdog, and they said this other guy, in this case, Fluffy Hernandez, this other guy is going to win. Not only is he going to win, this other guy is then going to go and fight Chimaev. The fight that Sean Strickland not only wants, a fight that Sean Strickland once had. And it wasn't Sean being given an opportunity, it was Sean giving the opportunity. Don't forget, when Chimaev beat Kamaru Usman, he became the #1 contender to draw into champion Sean Strickland. Sean agreed to that fight. And now all of a sudden that the roles are reversed, Sean's going, hey, where's the fight? And that was angry Sean. That's who Hernandez had to deal with. That's the same guy that Adesanya had to deal with. That's the guy that Dricus Part 2 did not have to deal with. Sean he couldn't get in that frame of mind in Dricus Part 2 for whatever reason, but he didn't have that anger. He kind of appreciated Dricus. He kind of respected Dricus. And it took him a little bit out of his game, and I'm only sharing with you that he's very upset about this Chimaev thing. He's very upset about reports that have come from training. He's very upset that opportunities were going to go to somebody else. He's very upset that he agreed to give a guy an opportunity who is now resisting giving him that same opportunity. Sean Strickland has broken all the rules. You can't get married and be tougher than you were when you were single. You can't get rich and be hungrier than you were when you were poor. You can't start coaching and get the same training as when you were just an athlete. You can't give me an example of anybody that's done it. You can't give me an example of anybody that's done any of those three things. He's done them all, and he's getting better.